Welcome to CorkCon today for October 17th, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read about them for yourself and let me know what you think. I'll love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Before we get into the news of the day, quick reminder, we're giving away a 2019 Roku Ultra and a $100 Netflix gift card to one lucky viewer or reader. For a chance to win, you can find a link down in the show notes down below with all the legal descriptions, all that. But multiple ways to enter, from tweeting out a message to following us on Twitter, subscribing for newsletters, just leaving a comment on the post. You don't have to do all of them, but the more you do, the more chances you get to win. So check that out, link in the show notes to the giveaway. Alright, yesterday Netflix had their earnings report and they had some good numbers, and of course it's got to love Wall Street to a point. They didn't quite meet what Wall Street was hoping they would do, but they do now have 158 million subscribers worldwide and $5.2 billion in revenue. That is crazy amount of money. Crazy amount of money. $5.2 billion in revenue, up 31% from the year before. Now, a lot of people made a big deal about how this was the last earnings call before Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus launches and others next year. Netflix does not seem to be all that concerned, but there was maybe a tinge of concern when they talked a little bit about password sharing. So password sharing came up during their video interview with some of the executives at Netflix, and they were asked, what are they going to do about password sharing? Is this important? And according to a Netflix executive, they are looking at consumer-friendly ways to push back against password sharing. Exactly what that means, we don't know. It doesn't seem like Netflix is concerned about, hey, I have a kid in college and I let them use my password while they're in college, or maybe a year or two after. It seems like maybe Netflix is more concerned about the bigger picture of, hey, I have 5 friends and 5 different households are all using the same password, for example. Now with this, we'll have to see how this plays out in the long run. Now, they did say push back against the fringes, so I don't think this is going to be a massive crackdown on password sharing. Probably something similar to what YouTube TV and others have been doing, where they're really relaxed about it, but they do detect what they believe is flagrant, aggressive password sharing. Then they may crack down on that, where they say, hey, you're billing at this address, these people haven't been there in years, or months at least, let's kick them off the network. So we'll wait and see what happens. Now, again, keep all in mind, they say this, it could be next year or farther before anything actually comes to be from this idea of pushing back against the fringes of password sharing. But let me know, do you use Netflix and do you share it with family and friends? Do you have a family's account? Are you still using your parents' Netflix account? Let me know. I do find, though, increasingly that more and more people get their own as they get on. I think a lot of the password sharing, from when I talk to people, comes down to kids in college, kids just out of college getting established in life using their parents' accounts. I don't know if necessarily that's what Netflix is worried about as much as they are worried about the people who are publicly posting on Reddit and other places like, hey, let's swap passwords. If you give me your password, I'll give you my password for different services. And then you don't really know each other and you never come to the same locations, etc. I think that's what Netflix is more concerned about. And it does raise a question. Would that 158 million subscribers be closer to 200 if there were no password sharing? That's a lot of money right there. Alright, let's keep going today. Locast is now offering free over-the-air TV streaming online in Atlanta and Phoenix. Now with this new service, or this new expansion, in Phoenix and Atlanta you can access ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and more for free online. This does come as Locast is being sued by most major broadcasters who are pushing back against their service operating as a nonprofit that is offering free access to over-the-air TV. We'll be interested to see how this plays out in the weeks and months to come. But if you have Locast, leave a review. Maybe you'll help somebody who lives in one of these new markets decide if Locast is right for them. So check that out, and if you want a full list of all Locast markets, link in the show notes down below. Next story up, Comcast is offering free internet upgrades to their customers, even cord cutters. Now, some companies have held back internet speed hikes if you weren't a TV customer. Comcast has been rolling out their speed hikes happening right now to everybody. A few weeks ago this started, and at first it looked like just a few markets. It's not uncommon for a market or two to say, hey, we've upgraded this particular market, so you're going to get a faster speed with no price hike. Now, Comcast seems to be doing this nationwide, with last night the Northeast getting the speed increase. Some readers have reported their speed have doubled, and others have reported maybe just going from like 100 to 150, for example, in speed. So if you have Comcast and your price or your speed hasn't gone up, leave me a comment, let me know where you are, trying to track that. We can keep an eye on maybe markets to come. And if yours did increase, how big of a jump was it if you use Comcast? For all the hatred against Comcast, when I had Comcast Internet, it was one of my better experiences with the quality of the internet. Was very good. It may have been just where I lived. But it's interesting seeing Comcast do this because they are facing new competition. Now, with fixed wireless and 5G on its way, Amazon, SpaceX working on launching their own high-speed internet provider, fiber, and more. You know, the idea that in 5 years Comcast would just be able to say, hey, we're the only internet provider in town, probably not going to be true anymore. Increasingly, third-party companies who are not your phone company and not your cable company are working on launching internet services to compete with places like Comcast. Having faster internet will definitely help Comcast in this, but it won't necessarily stop customers from jumping because of their data caps. I think the main thing Comcast will have to address is many of their markets, not all their markets, have data caps. And with these data caps, when you look at a competitor, even if maybe the speed isn't quite as fast, you really don't need a gigabyte to stream Netflix. You don't. Really, once you get over 100 down, if you're just streaming Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you're not going to really see a noticeable difference. If you are, it's more about your weak Wi-Fi maybe. So I think Comcast eventually will be forced to drop the data caps in other states that they currently offer it, because if they don't, when Verizon and Charter and others launch, that will mean, and it's like Verizon without data caps, that would be an attractive option for many cord cutters. We'll see how this plays out, especially with SpaceX and Amazon. So let me know if you got that speed hike, how big of a speed hike it was. We'll love to hear from you. All right, I've been getting a lot of questions recently about Roku players and Roku TVs, and will you be getting the new Roku OS 9.2? Started rolling out recently. It's been slowly piecemealing out there over the last couple of weeks, and Roku says over the next few weeks, a ton of additional players will be getting this new Roku OS with some under-the-hood improvements, a few new cool features, and more. So if you want to see if your Roku is included in the list to be getting this new feature, Jess has put together a full list over at corecarsnews.com of all the Roku players. Now, it's all current players, all from the recent generations of Roku players. It's really the older ones that are not getting it. But if you want to see if your device is supported, check out the list down below where Jess breaks that all down. And let me know if you are happy with Roku's long-term support. Roku has basically said anything, they stopped supporting Roku players from 2011 and before. But you think about that, that's 8 years ago. Are you still using the same phone, TV, and more from 8 years ago? For the vast majority of people, probably not, to be honest with you. So let me know what you think of that. All right, and last story up of the day, how to cut the cord with PlayStation Vue. We got these different guides on the site, and I just wanted to mention this. We've been getting a lot of questions like, hey, I want to cut the cord. I'm thinking of getting this or thinking of getting that. We've had our beginner's guide. If you go to corecarsnews.com, you click up in the top bar of it. There's a beginner's guide there. But we're developing service-specific guides where like, hey, I've been interested in PlayStation Vue. What do I need to know? What maybe other services I would need to supplement that to get what I want and more. And Jess has started that with a guide to how to cut the cord with PlayStation Vue. So check that guide out. It's a really nice one. If you have any suggestions, leave us a comment. We'll love to hear from you. So that's it for today. A few things to remember. Today at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have our Cord Cutting This Week podcast where Jess and I break down some of the biggest stories from the past week in much more depth than I could here. This is the TV's way of telling me I need to hurry up and finish my show. But we break down some of the biggest stories happening right now out there. So check that out. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern, we go live on YouTube, typically every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And also don't forget, if you're a regular subscriber, ring that notification bell. But if you've had that for a while, click on it again and select all notifications. YouTube updated it to be like if you ring the notification bell, you get some videos, the ones they think you'll be interested in, but not all. So make sure you move that notification bell from some to all, and then go into your mobile app on your device and enable notifications from YouTube in the settings in the YouTube app so you can get our notifications of when we post these videos. So check that out. I'll put a quick link to the Google help page about that in the show notes down below if you have questions on how to enable the notifications on your mobile device. And make sure you ring the notification bell if you haven't. And if you have, make sure to select all notifications. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Be safe. I hope you're all enjoying this blast of fall weather down here in Texas. We definitely woke up to some 50-degree temps down here. I know some places are like, that's our high. But for Texas at this time of year, that's pretty cool. So I hope you all take care. I hope you're safe. I'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for your support.